A huge number of animals live on our planet, and one of the most interesting ones are the snakes. According to the Reptile Database, as of February 2017, there were 3,631 known species of these reptiles. A master of disguise, a very patient hunter armed to the teeth, a snake that can hold water in its body, a dangerous predator who always warns that it is better not to mess with it. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to talk about the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake. The Western Diamondback Rattlesnake is a fairly well-known venomous rattlesnake of the viper family. This is one of the largest and most dangerous snakes in North America. These reptiles mainly inhabit the dry areas in the prairies, semi-deserts, and on the edges of forests. They choose areas characterized by rocky terrain and very poor vegetation. The Western Diamondback Rattlesnake lives in the southeast of Canada, the south and west of the USA, and the north of Mexico. The officially registered maximum length of its body is 213 centimeters. The weight of this snake can reach 7 kilograms. Almost all mammals and birds, which this snake can swallow whole, become prey of the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake. The rattlesnake has two ways of hunting. It hides and lies in wait for the prey, or it goes out in search of the prey, examining all holes, bushes, and cracks in between stones on its way. This patient predator can remain motionless for hours, but it is ready to launch into an attack at any second. Its body folds into a tight spring with the help of powerful muscles and is ready to unwind with terrible force at any moment. The snake only needs a quarter of a second for its lightning-fast attack. When it bites, this rattlesnake injects between 250 and 350 milligrams of venom into the body of its victim, and in exceptional cases, it can be up to 700 to 800 milligrams. The amount of venom is controlled by muscle contraction. Long, hollow teeth act as needles during the bite. It is through them that the venom is injected into the victim's body. There are secondary teeth behind the main venomous teeth. They are used in case of damage to the front ones. The snake's fans can sometimes break during the bite, but it doesn't cause the reptile any convenience in the future. Fangs can grow back out several times a year. The Western Diamondback Rattlesnake devours its prey in one sitting, swallowing it whole. The size of the mouth of this rattlesnake and its ability to stretch is very impressive. Even a meter-long snake can swallow an adult rabbit. The digestion of a large prey lasts several weeks. In the course of evolution, the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake has mastered a very unusual way of collecting and conserving water. During the rainy season, it goes out under the open sky and exposes its body to falling raindrops. The water particles stick to its back, and subsequently, the snake can lick the moisture right off its body. Scientists have always wondered why the water drops don't roll off of the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake's body and remain on it for a very long time. By examining the scales under a microscope, the scientists found that they are made up of tiny channels 100 nanometers wide and 300 nanometers deep. These channels form a complex labyrinth, which gives the snake's skin the properties of a hydrophilic material. That means that getting on the scales, the water is literally absorbed into them, and the snake has the opportunity to drink it whenever it wants. This feature of the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake's body helps it hunt and survive in difficult conditions. Like other snakes, the Western Diamondback Rattlesnake is completely deaf. However, it is sensitive to temperature differences and picks up on the slightest vibrations of the earth that occur during the movement of animals. The Western Diamondback Rattlesnake belongs to the subfamily of pit vipers. The name of the subfamily comes from a pair of thermoreceptor dimples located between the snake's nostrils and eyes. They feel infrared radiation very well, and snakes use them to identify their prey, thanks to the temperature difference between the environment and the prey. These receptors perceive even weak, about 0.1 degrees changes in air temperature. So, the snakes can recognize rodents and birds even in absolute darkness, since their temperature is much higher. These dimples, like eyes, help the snake to choose prey and attack it very accurately. The western diamondback rattlesnake leads a terrestrial lifestyle. It is most active at dusk and at night. During the day, the reptile rests, hiding in a shelter. It rarely crawls out to hunt during daylight hours. At the moment of danger, it flees or freezes in place, completely relying on its camouflage coloring. If the threat escalates, the snake will use the rattle as a warning, making a loud, rattling sound. The rattle at the end of the snake's tail consists of 14 or more segments of old, keratinized skin. With the completion of each molt, the snake adds one more keratinized skin segment to its rattle, since the lagging skin is unable to get off the tail completely. Epidermal scales are interconnected like links in a chain. The first ring of the rattle is firmly connected to the body. Rattles of adult snakes consist of a constant number of elements, since the old links break off, and only then the new ones grow. The warning is usually followed by a defensive bite, which almost always comes with an injection of venom. It contains proteins that cause the metabolic breakdown of proteins in the tissues. First of all, the venom affects the blood vessels, blood cells, and the heart. The cytotoxins and myotoxins it contains destroy muscles and cause internal hemorrhages, leading to heart failure. In the cool season, rattlesnakes hibernate. To do so, they crawl into caves, rock crevices, or rodent burrows. These reptiles usually hibernate in small groups. 30 or more rattlesnakes gather to spend the winter together in one underground hole, warming each other with the heat of their bodies. The western diamondback rattlesnake is a viviparous snake. These snakes are born in a thin eggshell, which is pierced from the inside immediately after birth. They already have venomous fangs at this point. The next day after their birth, the snakelets part with their mother and crawl in different directions. There can be just a couple of snakelets in a clutch, or there can be as many as 86 snakelets. It all depends on the type of the snake. By the end of the first week, the snakelets have their first molt and go hunting. Mortality among juveniles is very high. Most of them become prey to predators or freeze during the first winter, having chosen the wrong place for wintering. Representatives of this species have virtually no natural land enemies. The only danger for them are birds of prey and the greater roadrunner. The life expectancy of the western diamondback rattlesnake is 25 to 30 years. In the southeastern United States, the number of victims of the western diamondback rattlesnake bites is significantly greater than from other snake species. About 20% of them end in death due to untimely provision of qualified medical care. Most accidents are caused by people's inappropriate behavior. Under natural conditions, the reptile doesn't attack humans and large mammals, preferring to hide from them in the nearest shelter. It shows aggression only when all the ways to retreat are cut off. The bad reputation of the rattlesnake comes at a heavy price. In the southern states of the United States, mass killings of these snakes occur, after which the skin is removed and the meat is consumed. It has become a kind of sport. Moreover, rattlesnakes are kept in special serpentaria for the sake of their venom. But the snakes don't live there long, only about 6 months. Despite the fact that today the population of rattlesnakes is stable, every year the number of these unique reptiles is decreasing. Well, that's all for today. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment, let me know, would you eat rattlesnake meat? I wonder if it tastes like chicken. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel too. We'll see you next time.